everyone, I'm Heba and welcome back. In this video, I like to show you my favorites that I've been enjoying for the month of November, and it's a pretty eyeshadow heavy month. Got 5 eyeshadow palettes that have been my favorite for the month of November. And I also have a couple of eyeshadow palettes that weren't my favorite. And also my favorites, I have some lipsticks, some powders, and a foundation. Let me start with the eyeshadow palettes that have been my favorites. And this one by Natasha Denona, the Glam Face Palette. I wasn't thinking about getting this one, but when I saw it in Sephora and I swatched it, I thought, yeah, I'm gonna get this one. And this is in the dark palette. There were two different palettes, a light and a dark. I didn't get the light because I don't think it will match my skin tone or work with my skin tone, so I ended up with the dark, and it's just beautiful. And every time I've worn this eyeshadow palette, I've gotten a lot of compliments on my eye look. And especially this shade. I love this shade all over my lid. Inner corner. This one, this beautiful taupey shade, I love this shade. And of course, this is Natasha Denona quality. The shades just blend out beautiful, very pigmented, and it has that sparkle to it, yes. You do get 5 shades in here. 3 of them are matte and 2 are metallics. And it does come with this flap because this is a cream blush, so it kind of protects the blush from the powder. But this cream blush is a beautiful shade. Love it. Now this is a highlighter, but I don't use it as a highlighter because it's just a little too rich for me, for my liking. So I use this one for an inner corner, and that's what I did with this look. And I tried to incorporate at least 3 of these eyeshadow palettes for this eye look. And what I used from this palette, it's the dark one here, Smoke. I used this one here in the middle for the outer corner so I can smoke this look. So this one was a really nice surprise, and do enjoy it. And like I said, I've been getting a lot of compliments when I use this palette. This one does cost $59, and I did get it during the Sephora sale. Now I know with the packaging, it does leave fingerprints. It does get dirty very quickly. I do like the raised name of this palette. It has ND Glam Face Palette. And I hope you can see it. It's raised. I just kind of like that. Now let's jump to this palette by Byredo, and this is the Corporate Colors palette. It was in the Get Ready With Me video for my birthday, and again with this one, I did get a lot of compliments when I wore this palette. And for this look, I used this shade in the middle for my transition in my crease. It's a beautiful rust shade, and it blends out beautifully. It doesn't look very dry or powdery on my textured lids. And that's the only shade that I used for this look from this palette. I love this khaki green shade, and I love this real dark shade right here. But all the other shades are just beautiful. It was really hard to decide which palette to use for this video. And this is the first time that I've tried any of his palettes. I went ahead and bought 2 more, and I haven't used them yet. Things have been kind of hectic around here, so hopefully I'll be using those soon. One is Boots in the Snow, and the other one is this dark palette, Fête Noire. Now that one's going to be scary, but I'm going to try it. I think that'd be perfect for like a New Year's Eve party look. And with this packaging, I just love this clam oyster kind of shape here. Now this one is expensive. This palette is $70, but I'm really impressed with the pigmentation and the creaminess of it, and the shades too. So I can't wait to try the other 2 palettes from him. Now the other 3 palettes, they're all from this brand, Florasis, and I did a haul video and also some looks with these palettes, and I'll link those down below. I'll link all the videos that I use these products down below for you guys. But these palettes from Florasis, they are a work of art, and the quality and the pigmentation of these shadows are there. Let me show you these 2 first. This is the Floral Engraving Phoenix Makeup Palette, and comes in 2 different shades. This is a 01 Gold Brown, and just look at the artwork in this palette. Just beautiful. Now I have used this several times, and yeah, a little bit of the engraving did kind of, run down, but pretty much the engraving is still there. And unfortunately, I didn't use any of the shades here with this look, and it was hard not to. Like I said, it was really hard to figure out which palette I wanted to use. But I did use the blush in this one, and this is the 02, and this one is 02 Orange Brown. So I did use this middle shade as a blush, and you can see me applying it here, and it's just a beautiful corally shade. Very pigmented, very smoothing. And I swatched these 2 together. 01 is on top and 02 is on the bottom. I mean, just the artwork alone is just a collector's item, but I'm going to be using these. It took me a while to use them. I wanted to make sure I get all the pictures and videos of these palettes that I can get before I start putting my fingers in there. And these do cost $59 each, which isn't bad because, like I said, the artwork is there. It's just beautiful. And I do like the shades. Now the other eyeshadow palette from Florasis is this beautiful one. The Floral Engraving Forest Aura Makeup Palette. It's the Impression of Dye collection. And just the packaging from the outside, it's just beautiful. It has that peacock motif there. And when you open it, it has the 2 peacocks in there, and the shades and the artwork in here is just beautiful. And the shades that I used for this is this top shade here. That was the first shade that I used, more for my transition above my crease. And then this beautiful bronze shade on my lids. And I have to say that this shade is very creamy and applied very nicely on my lids. And then I used this kind of like a shadow topper. It has like a peacock blue to it, and it also has a shift. Like I said, it's more of a shadow topper, and it just adds a little pop to it. I hope you can see that. Just beautiful. Now, I love these palettes so much that I went ahead and ordered another one from them. Hasn't come in yet. Like I said in the previous videos, it does take like 3 weeks to get here, give or take a few days. But the one that I did order is the Floral Engraving O'Day makeup palette, the Encounter. And I can't wait to get that one because that's just another beautiful artwork and has beautiful shades in there too. So these have been the eyeshadow palettes that have been my favorite, and they are just beautiful. Really, really happy with them. Now for the eyeshadow palettes that weren't my favorite. I don't have them with me, I just have videos of them. They are now at a home that's going to be really loved. But these two eyeshadow palettes are from Dior, and they are from the 2021 holiday collection, the Atelier of Dreams. And there were 2 eyeshadow palettes in that collection, and one of them is 469 Atelier Doré, I believe that's how you pronounce it, and 769 House of Dreams. I've always wanted to try some of the Dior Quints, and those are the ones that I picked because of the shades, and they just didn't work out for me. And I did a video using those palettes, and I'll link it down below, and you can kind of see that it just weren't working for me. It was a little bit too glittery, and the pigmentation wasn't there, so yeah, those weren't my favorites. I'm glad I got to try Dior Quints. I think I'm going to hold off on getting any more Dior Quints in the near future until maybe there's something else that might pop my interest, but for now, I probably won't be trying any more Dior Quints. And the other thing that was from Dior that wasn't my favorite was their blush. It was Hologram. Let's see, here's number 601 Hologram. And that one was just too glittery for my liking. There was no pigment to it on my skin tone, and it was just too much glitter for me. So those palettes are not my favorite, but they are going to be someone else's favorite. At least I hope they do like it. Another product that I've been enjoying, it's also by Florasis, is this pressed powder. And it's the Fairy Peach Blossom Pressed Powder. And look at the engraving in this palette. This one only comes in one shade, which is 02, which is a translucent matte for all skin tones, creating a misty matte and airy makeup. And not only is it a beautiful work of art, I do like the powder. Now, I did try it with the powder puff, and I do like it when I apply it, but then when you reapply it to the compact, it transfers the makeup from the powder puff to the pressed powder. So I threw that puff away. So now I just use a brush. And whenever I apply it, it does blur my pores. It doesn't look cakey. It doesn't look powdery on my skin. It doesn't turn my skin ashy because it is a white powder. So another product that I was real pleased from this brand, Florasis. Not only did I get another eyeshadow palette, I also picked up another pressed powder. It's the same name, the Fairy Peach Blossom Pressed Powder, but this is part of the Impression of Dye collection. So the one that I ordered is from the Impression of Dye collection, and this one that I have is the Impression of Meow collection. I hope I'm saying these names right. And this is another beautiful product from Florasis, and I have one more product here that I want to show you. Let me go ahead and show it to you now. It's this lipstick that I'm wearing. And this is the Blooming Rouge Ceramic Lipstick, and they call it because of the bullet is made from ceramic. And the artwork on this lipstick, I mean, what can I say that I haven't already said before? One that I'm wearing right now is in the shade M217, which is called Intoxicating Red Glaze. They classify this as a maple brown, and I can kind of see that. Looks like a brick red too. This does have a matte finish without being drying, and of course I do put a lip gloss over it just because I just prefer that. It kind of hides my wrinkly lips, but the lip gloss that I'm wearing is a clear lip gloss, so hopefully it's not changing the color. But the formula is very nice. It's very light. Even though it is a matte finish, it's not very drying on my lips. Enough so that not only I got the eyeshadow palette and another powder, I did pick up 2 of the lipsticks. Now, I can't remember which ones I got, but when that comes in, of course, I'll be doing a video on those products, because I'm sure they're going to be just as wonderful. Now, this lipstick costs $39, and did I mention the price of the powder? The powder costs $49. The other lipsticks that I've been enjoying are these 3 from Guerlain. Now, unfortunately, these 2 right here, they were from the gold collection, and they were limited edition. I believe that they're already sold out. And then this one's still available. This is in the shade 910. Let me go ahead and show you this first. This one is in the matte formula, and it's black red. Beautiful deep berry shade. And this is another matte formula that doesn't dry my lips. Now, the other 2 are from the gold collection, and let me get my glasses, my magnifying glass, to figure out which shade this one is. This one's in the shade 35, and it's brick red. And what's so nice about this is that you can see the gold marbling that's in the lipstick. Hope you can see that there. So this one's number 35, and I hope they can see that sheen in there. It does have a hint of gold too. And then the other one, 34, this is gold red. And here's the marbling in this lipstick. Beautiful. Very, very unique. So here's 34, 35, and 910. And these two, you can see the gold sheen in there. And I do love all three cases too. Now the lipstick costs $34 and the cases cost $37, or most of the cases cost $37.50. There are some cheaper cases and there's some more expensive cases. But the formula of the Guerlain lipsticks are very nice on the lips, very pigmented, and I do love these shades, especially with the gold marble on it. Let me go ahead and swatch this one by Florasis. So this is in the shade 217. So you have all 4 shades here of my favorites for November. A couple more products that I have to show you, and let's stick with Guerlain, and here are the Meteorites in Gold Pearl. I didn't use this one as a powder because I wanted to use the one by Florasis. Do love the coloring in this collection of the gold pearls. It's more my liking. But in this look, I used it as a highlighter. And when I do use this as a powder, it does kind of brighten up my skin. And it has that Guerlain scent to it. So what I did is just swirl it with my brush and then apply it to my cheeks. Very subtle, but yet has that highlight to it. The gold pearls cost $64. Before I go into the last product, let me show you these products also by Florasis. These are not my favorites, I guess you could say, but I'll still use them. And one of them is the eyebrow pencil. In that video, I did like using this, but as I was continuing to use it through the month, I noticed that the tip just keeps breaking off. It is a nice color and it does have good pigmentation, but I guess just keeps breaking off. Just, you know, not my favorite thing that it does. Also got the cream blush. I do like it, but I wouldn't classify it as one of my favorites. I will use it, but honestly, I like the cream blush from Natasha Denona in this palette here. It is a pretty shade, and like I said, I will continue to use it, I guess whenever the mood arises. And I only tried it one time, so maybe I need to try it more often. So I really can't say that this is my favorite. I'll continue to use it. How about that? I'll continue to use it and maybe it'll show up in my favorites in the next month or two. And the other product by Florasis is this highlighter. Another one that I just can't bring myself to say that it's one of my favorites. This one is very pigmented, very, very blingy. But it does show a little bit of my textures. But I just wanted to let you know about these products from Florasis that I tried in that video, that even though I do like them, I just can't classify them yet as my favorites. Not like the eyeshadow palettes. Those are my favorites. Well, okay, let me show you the last product that's been my favorite, and it's this foundation by Lisa Eldridge, the foundation. It's a beautiful foundation here. This one is in the shade 22, and I was going between 2 shades, 22 or 19. But I do like the undertone of it. I believe this is medium with neutral undertones. As you can see here, whenever I applied it on, it spreads out evenly, doesn't sink in my pores, doesn't sink in my fine lines or wrinkles. I do like the shape of the bottle. It looks very spaceship-ish. Now I have to be careful with this foundation that I do need to prime my skin with something that's a little bit more moisturizing. If I use a mattifying or pore perfecting primer, it does look a little powdery on my skin. But whenever I use a moisturizing primer, it just glides on my skin very nicely. And I would say that this is more of a light to medium coverage for me, because you can still see my melasma spots here. But other than that, this is a beautiful foundation. Well, alright, those are my favorites and some not so favorites for the month of November, and hopefully I'll be doing a yearly favorites next. I won't be doing one for December because that's the end of the year. I'd rather concentrate on the yearly favorites for that. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you can see more videos like this, and you all have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.